world saturated with information, the desire to know everything can feel like both a noble quest and an unending burden. There's peace in not knowing everything touches upon a profound truth. Sometimes not knowing is not ignorance, but liberation. It suggests that serenity, clarity, and even wisdom can be found in the quiet spaces left by unanswered questions. This idea goes against the grain of modern society, which often equates knowledge with power and uncertainty with weakness. But to truly understand this, we must dive into what it means to not know and why that can bring peace. The illusion of complete knowledge. First, it's essential to acknowledge that no human being can ever know everything. The universe is vast, life is complex, and the human experience is filled with ambiguity. Despite technological advancement and endless access to data, true certainty about many things, the future, other people's thoughts, the reasons behind random events, remains out of reach. Yet, many people expend great effort trying to close every gap in their understanding. This pursuit often brings anxiety. The constant need to know, to be sure, becomes a source of stress. In this sense, not knowing everything isn't just a reality, it's a boundary of our humanity. Accepting that limit can be a form of wisdom, and within that acceptance, peace begins. Now, the burden of overthinking. Knowing everything, or trying to, often leads to overthinking. We analyze every possibility, worry about every outcome, and mentally replay scenarios to exhaustion. But in doing so, we rob ourselves of the present moment. There's a kind of paralysis in trying to predict or control everything. When we let go of the need to know, we also let go of the burden to control. We allow life to unfold as it will. Peace arises from this surrender. Not a defeatist surrender, but a conscious decision to stop resisting uncertainty. And 3, trusting the flow of life. Peace in not knowing is also tied to trust. Trust in ourselves, in others, or in a higher power. It is the belief that even without knowing all the details, things will be okay. It's the kind of faith that says, I don't know what will happen, but I trust I'll handle it. In this way, peace doesn't come from answers, but from inner confidence and surrender. Consider nature. Rivers don't know where they'll twist next, but they keep flowing. Trees don't know what the next season will bring, but they adapt. There's a quiet wisdom in allowing life to move forward without resistance, trusting that not all mysteries need immediate answers. 4, emotional and spiritual growth. Spiritually, the idea of not knowing everything can be deeply enriching. Many spiritual traditions speak of beginner's mind, the openness to learn, to grow, and to be humbled by mystery. In this sense, not knowing becomes a path to enlightenment, because it empties the ego and makes space for wonder, gratitude, and presence. Emotionally, not knowing also allows us to avoid unnecessary pain. For example, we may never fully understand why someone hurt us or why certain things happened in our lives. Obsessing over reasons can prolong suffering, but choosing to release those unanswered questions can be a powerful step toward healing. Peace often lies in the space between needing to know and choosing to let go. 5, relational wisdom. In relationships, not knowing everything can be a gift. Sometimes people feel compelled to uncover every detail of a loved one's past, every hidden thought, or every motive behind their behavior. But human beings are layered, and some things are unknowable, even to themselves. Respecting that boundary and choosing to love without needing total understanding can foster deeper intimacy. It's the same principle in friendships, family, or even workplace dynamics. Trusting the person rather than needing to solve them. In this allowance, there is peace. Intellectual humility. Another aspect of peace in not knowing comes from intellectual humility. The recognition that one's knowledge is limited, and that others have perspectives and insights we may not have considered. This attitude reduces conflict and opens the door to meaningful dialogue. This mindset creates space for curiosity rather than judgment. It fosters collaboration rather than competition. And most importantly, it allows the peace that comes from releasing the ego's need to always be right. 7. The role of mystery in a meaningful life. Life without mystery would be sterile. Part of what makes life beautiful is that it unfolds in surprising and mysterious ways. Love, death, dreams, purpose, all are laced with questions that defy simple answers. And yet, their mystery is part of what makes them sacred. There's peace in embracing the unknown Not as something to be feared, but as something that gives life depth. Just as a novel would be boring if we knew the ending from page 1, life would lose its magic if every answer was given in advance. 8. Practical application. Choosing what to know. Finally, peace in not knowing everything also means being selective about the information we consume. In the digital age, we are bombarded with news, opinions, facts, and speculation. The pressure to stay informed about everything from global crises to local gossip can be overwhelming. To not engage with every controversy is not ignorance, it's self-care. It's a conscious boundary that protects mental health. Sometimes the most peaceful mind is the one that says, I don't need to know this right now. It teaches us that we don't need to have all the answers to live a fulfilling life. We can find serenity in the spaces between facts. In letting go of the need to know everything, we make room for presence, trust, humility, and awe. And within that spaciousness, surprisingly gently, peace arrives.